You know something's wrong when in the FA Cup second qualifying round you're playing one of your under-18s in the squad. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 3 of the second season of the Hednesford Town save in the road to League 2. And today we're playing in the FA Cup second qualifying round and then a game against league leaders Boston United in the Vanarama National League. Now since you last week with me, we've only played one game. Bit of a cop-out I know, but this is a really important game and I thought the Boston one was as well, so I thought I'd show this as well. So that last game was absolutely fantastic. I'm gutted you guys weren't here to see it. It doesn't look as bad as it was. Now it was 2-1 at half time, so then that was okay. And then we went 3-2 down, that was okay as well. Then we went 4-2 down, that was also okay. And then unfortunately Sam Ogie got injured about 65 minutes in, meaning that they just went on a rampage. Hugo Scapahorn's got 2 late goals for us, but it ended 7-4, and the defence is a bit of a nightmare. Hence why we've got a bit of a defensive problem, because Sam Ogie's out for 4 weeks, Bailey's out for 4 weeks, and Matt Berry's got a bit of a niggle as well. So we've literally only got Wheatley, and we've got David Griffiths, who is going to play his first game. He's a 17-year-old. He's way off first team level. But who else do we play? I just want to play... if he gets injured, I don't really care. But if Bauer gets injured, then that's a real issue. But we will put Bauer on the bench just in case it's an absolute disaster. But, yeah. Anyway, we're going to get straight into the team. Pretty much the same as it has been throughout the season. Wallacott in goal. Bellingham, Wheatley and Law at the back with Griffiths. A very youthful backline with 40... 89 with, what's that then on average? Have I calculated that right? I don't know why I'm doing things here. That's 40, that's 39, 79. So on average, just below 20 is the average age in that back four, which is a bit frightening. Adams, a defensive midfielder. Falling Fitzpatrick, Laurie, and then Jarvis, as well as Skeppelhorn in the lineup. Now, of course, we're playing against Grantham Town, and we did play against twice actually last year. And they finished in the playoffs. They didn't quite get promoted. They did finish above us last year. And it's quite incredible that they are actually the league below. And I think it's Lee Shaw or Luke Shaw is a real frightener. And I said before this episode that I would love to get into the first round of the FA Cup this season. But I don't know. These are good opponents. And although we have made a good step up this season, it's questionable whether we'll beat them, to be quite honest. But we're getting straight into it anyway, and a lovely ball from Adams up to Skeppelhorn. And we might actually have a highlight here. Skeppelhorn is offside. That's our highlight. That's it. And that was a brilliant highlight, wasn't it? 3 minutes into the game though now, and nothing still happening. 6 minutes in, nothing still happening. We do have a highlight now though, and Law to Wheatley to Law. Puts it out to Watkins. Wow, to Meadows. Kakoran, is that? Wheatley gets it. Lovely ball out to Skeppelhorn. Can he run into that? Unfortunately not. Lacey gets that. And it's a bit of an awful state of affairs. But Law gets it back for the second time. He's really saving us out on that left wing. Fitzpatrick to Skeppelhorn. Can he just chuck it up to Jarvis? Forley. Nice pass to Jarvis. No, it wasn't. It was awful. Oh dear, they've got a run up now. They've got a counter. Disolu has a shot, and it's 1-0 to Grantham Town. And that is awful. We just didn't pass it right there, and we need to demand more from the players. They were just asleep. And that simply was not good enough from our players there. Forley, a poor pass to Jarvis, even though Jarvis was asleep as well. But at the back, I think it was probably the youngster. Yeah, it was Griffiths. He couldn't keep it with Dasolu, I'm guessing it is. But yeah, we are now losing, which is absolutely fantastic. Not. Right, Shaw's got it, who I said was the danger earlier on. Meadows to Dasolu again. It's 2-0. Honestly, Lord. We've got it all to do here. And I feel like this may well be the start of our downturn. And we're losing against the team from the division below. Should it have been them that got promoted? Is it just because Grantham are too good? Oh dear. Seems to be a bit of a bogey team for us. I think we got beat by them both times last year. And this certainly is not good enough at all. And we were saved by Law a few times. And so that is not good enough. We could well be 3-0 down. But we do have a highlight here. Preston, do not be 3-0, I swear. Sure. Oh, why is that such a poor pass? Meadows. Kakoran to Meadows. Puts it to Hempenstall on the wing. He puts it in for sure. Very nearly 3-0. That is shocking. Right, we're going to have to change things up here because it's getting a little bit embarrassing, to be quite honest. Especially considering we should be the team that's on top. We'll make a few changes tactically, and hopefully that'll work. We've only had one shot so far, just highlighting their superiority in this match. And we need to really give our players a good shouting at in the dressing room, and hopefully they will do something to improve their way they're playing. But they're playing awfully at the moment. We could well be at the FA Cup at the same point we did last year, which would be a real disappointment. but obviously a nice win for Grantham. But we don't care about Grantham, and we have played simply awfully so far. There's no question about it. Show me something else in the second half. Everyone's motivated by that. That's fantastic. We'll stick Adams up there. Probably don't need the defensive depth, and we will play attackingly. Bring Skepperhorn off for Davies because Skepperhorn hasn't really played well today. And we will also take... we'll take... do we take Laurie off? No, we'll keep Laurie on for a little bit. But, yeah, not for too long. So Macaulay Davies comes on. I'm going to tell the players to push forward. And really, and most promisingly, we should be able to get 2 goals before the game is over. And hopefully it doesn't go to a replay. I hate replays. Nor penalties for that matter. We haven't won a penalty shootout in this series yet, which is a bit frightening. We've had 2 and lost 2. But, oh well. Lovely ball from Wallacott to Davis. Can this be an early fight back? Fitzpatrick, lovely ball. Up to Jarvis. Oh, I thought that was going to go in then. But Jarvis was offside, unfortunately. And that was the end of the highlight, which is a bit depressing. But we've got just over 42 minutes left. Belinga to Jarvis. He loses the ball. And, oh dear, we're going to get counted again here. Shaw to Disolu. Get that. Nice one, Belinga. Well done to Laurie. We can now start our own counter-attack. Jarvis. Davies. He's in the box. In the box. Puts to Jarvis. That was a bit of a stupid pass. Davies should have just had a shot. Belinga. Nope. Okay. Fantastic. Deary me. Should have just had a shot, should Jarvis. Might come to regret that, but Wheatley, the strong senior figure at the back at 19 years of age. That's quite frightening. Puts it up. Davies to Laurie. And it should be a free kick. That should be whatever. Davies again to Adams. He has a shot and it's just over the top of the bar. We're really getting close, which is nice to see. And at the end of the day, we need to just get at least 1 goal to get a bit of spirit back into these players. Because it is frightening there that we might lose this game. Be a bit embarrassed here. Adams, that was a stupid pass. Disolu, oh dear, puts to Shaw. And it's very nearly 3-0 to them. That's awful. Deary me. Right, we need to make a sub. We're going to take Adams off. He's had a bit of a bad day, to be honest. And he just needs to be subbed off. He's really not had a good day. We can play Ewers and Mazzala on attack. We just need to get everyone forward if possible. And then you as a full-back on automatic. We'll just put you as a defensive player. And then you can play as an advanced forward on attack. See how that works for us. Because nothing is working at the moment, which is a bit annoying. Just slightly. But, ho-hum. It's not great. They've got a corner now. Meadows puts it in to Posher, to Watkins. And it's 3-0 Grantham Town. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We've had all the possession, all the shots in this half. And then they go and have 1. And score it. That's a bit embarrassing for us, to be honest. I was hoping for a bit of a good FA Cup campaign, bring the finances in this year. But the players clearly are not up for it, which is a bit of a disappointment. But, oh well, can't ask for everything, I suppose. But as long as we do well in the league this year, that's all that matters. But I just feel like this may well start our downturn, which is really unfortunate. But Hempenstall to Posher. This could be 4-0 now to Brown. Brown into Meadows, into Shaw. 4-0 Grantham Town. This is shocking. I don't know what it is. Is it our weakness at the back? I simply don't know. But this is awful. This is pathetic for a team that is supposed to be a division above. I wouldn't even put them as a division below at the moment. It's really, really bad. And simply not good enough. It's definitely a punch in the face. Or a punch somewhere else in the body. That's what it feels like anyway. But you can only laugh. It's better to laugh than cry, I suppose. And we'll go into our game against Boston. Really uneven and unsteady. But we could get a consolation goal. Javis is in the box. And he can't even score that, can Macaulay Davis. And this simply isn't good enough. Would Skepperhorn have changed this game? Would bringing Bauer on and change this game? Probably not. They've just been the better opponent today. And I'm quite speechless. But, oh well. Fitzpatrick, come on, son. Just letting the highlight. Belinga to Dawes. And that should be it now. Hopefully. 2 minutes left. 3 minutes added time. And that's our FA Cup account over, unfortunately, this season. Before it's even started, really. We got a consolation goal courtesy of Wheatley. To be fair, he's been our man of the match all day. Wheatley's put a really good, positive contribution at the back. But at the end of the day, he's been a good player in a weak side today. So, although Wheatley's tried and done well, he's been the best player in a weak side. So, he hasn't played that well. That's what I'm trying to illustrate. But Meadows, and that should be it, puts to Disolu. Griffiths gets it out. And that is it in the game against Grantham Town. Which, oh! I was just asleep then. put the wrong comment in, didn't I? And now they're all going to be really grumpy and we'll probably lose against Boston now. Deary me, what a disaster this is. We're at the FA Cup, we've made the players really grumpy, and now it's time to go to the top of the table, Boston, to see how we can do. So we're ready for the game against the league leaders, Boston United at Keys Park, and we are playing today with a little bit of a refined system, a 4-3-1-2. Adams really didn't like the defensive midfield spot, and we put Bauer back in as well to replace Griffiths after a bit of a bad debut, I think it's fair to say. And we're the underdogs here, and that suits us down to the ground. Let's go and cause an upset against Boston United. The players come out. I'm pretty nervous for this one. We could well just get battered against Boston here, but we've got to have a go at the end of the day. You know, we've got to try something to see if we can win this game, and hopefully we play a little bit better in the league, because that's what we've been doing so far. You know, obviously we played our first game, if you like, in the FA Cup, which ended in defeat, but hopefully today we are just a little bit better, and we're at home as well, so we've got the home support, which is also very, very nice. But Rollins is on the ball for them already, on the wing, puts it in to Mashamba, is that, and that goes off the bar, and wow, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun game. And, of course, this is the team that Captain Goodspeed used to manage in his journeyman before going up the leagues to Burton Albion. I was going to say Burton United. But if you haven't watched Captain Goodspeed's journeyman, go and watch it. Very good series, very enjoyable. I admit I'm quite behind with that at the moment. But it's certainly a good series from what I've watched. And I've watched over 3 seasons. So I think I know my stuff. And that's a really good series. And a great friend of mine is Joe. So go and support his channel, and he's doing really well at the moment, which is really nice to see. But after that plug, whatever, you know, all that nonsense, we are 37 minutes in at Keys Park, and we have done absolutely nothing. We've had more shots than Boston, which is a bit more positive than the last game, and we've had more possession than Boston, so that's also positive. But as I said last episode, it seems that the second game of every single episode seems to have less action in the second game, which is a bit of a conspiracy theory. Let me know what you think of other creators. Is it the same with other creators, or is it just me? Or is it just my way of thinking that's just a bit bizarre and crooked, or whatever? I've just got a conspiracy wrong, but let me just ignore that. But we're nearly 55 minutes in. We still haven't had a highlight yet, past the 10-minute mark. And it's not going particularly well. Nothing's really happening. We're 62 minutes in. We're going to make a double substitution. Foley's going to come off for Alan Burton, who can play nicely as an automatic central midfielder, and we'll also bring on Macaulay Davis for Skephorn, who's actually now injured. I missed that. You can play as an advanced forward, you can play as a target man. That does for me, that's fantastic. You can play as a support, and you can play on defend. That works for me. Fan-dabby-dozy. 27 minutes in. Made 27 minutes to go even. We've obviously made that double change. Let's go attacking, try and push forward a little bit, and see if we can get a goal before the end of the match. That would be brilliant. And we've got nearly 15 minutes left here, and we're going to bring Bellinger off now because he seems a little bit tired for Lewis Wright. And we're going to make them automatic left backs and right backs now. Yeah, and hopefully it all goes a bit jolly now. So we've got 12 minutes left. Nothing's happening at Keys Park. We haven't even had a highlight past the 10-minute mark. I say it would be a battering, but nothing's happened. That's a bit of a shame, to be honest, if it just stays 0-0. It'll be our first draw of the season, and it looks like it will stay 0-0. We've got 5 minutes in extra time. 92, 93... Oh, okay, we've got a highlight of a minute and a half to go. This could be interesting. Wallacott out to Davis. Davis. Can Cadmore... Cadmore doesn't get it, and Cadmore just gets it out. It feels like this is going to be a full-time highlight to compensate for the lack of highlights in the game. We did score a late goal against Grantham there, so that's a bit of inspiration, I suppose. But Burton to Laurie. Jarvis. I thought Jarvis had been tucked down there, actually, but Bauer's on the ball. He puts it up. Lovely ball up to Jarvis, but that is going to be a goal kick. That's definitely it now, then. And as you can see, at the end of the episode, we're in 10th place. I can do a bit of a review now, why not? We're in 10th place. It's a half-decent start to the season, to be quite honest. 14 points so far. 6 points from the top of the table, and 8 points from the relegation zone. So we're closer to the top of the table than we are to the bottom. That's very pleasing to see. And there we go. Unlucky, boys. It wasn't our night. We could have scored there, but clearly it didn't happen, which is a bit unfortunate, but that happens sometimes, I guess, in FM. And you can't really do much about it, so that's the end of that game. That was 0-0. So apologies for a bit of a boring game there, but I hope you enjoyed the battering against Grantham. I certainly didn't, but there we go. But all that matters is that Boston have lost top spot. And Macaulay Davis still hasn't scored his first goal for Hednesford after scoring 6 games, which is a bit of not an embarrassment, but a bit humiliating for him. Right, the schedule then now. We're going to come back, I think, for that game against Altrincham as the team that we came up with. And we'll also come back for that game off against Spennymoor or Alfreton Town, whichever team I fancy playing. Anyway, I've been 2IJ. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of Road to League 2. I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel, and if you've watched this duration, thank you so much. It's really appreciated. I'd appreciate it even more if you could like on this video, comment any thoughts, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. We're very close to 350. We might well have hit that by now, but if you're watching this at a later date, hopefully we've hit 350. But if we haven't, that's a bit of a concern. Anyway, I've been 2IJ. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 PM, the normal time, for another episode of the Road to League 2. Goodbye.